The purpose of education is to make good human beings with skills and expertise. Enlightened human beings can be created by teachers, said Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Seema Chhoriya, and I welcome you all to another insightful session on great principles. Today, I'm besieged, anxious. I've been waiting for this wonderful opportunity, and the day has finally dawned when I'm going to get hold to a conversation with one of my favorite educators who have a lasting impression on my mind. Please join me in welcoming our jealous educator of the day, Mrs. Nalini Sengupta, founder principal, Vidya Valley School, Pune. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. We are so honored to have you with us.
Good evening. Nice to be here. Seema, you said you're nervous, but think of the other side of the table.
So, as ma'am said to all my dear viewers, before we begin our conversation, please allow me to explain that I'm so solemnly excited today to have the person who was there in my mind from so long since the day I have conceived this show. So bear with me if I fumble a little, bear with me if I'm short of words. So let us begin our conversation. So before I introduce ma'am, we would love to know her story from her own side. So Nalini ma'am, Nalini, the word Nalini also means the mother of Vedas. So we are very excited to hear your story. Who was Nalini before she became an educator? Take us back to those days and unveil the entire story of your life.
Thank you very much. It is indeed a privilege to be over here. Seema, I have also heard a lot about you, how you have taken on this project to showcase people with ideas to other principals and educators. Thank you so much for having me on the show today. Yes. Well, I come from a defense background. My father was in the army, and my mother, should I say, was a camp follower. She was a doctor. So, ever since I was growing up, I think inscribed in my mind was the word tough, that we should be tough and we should be innovative. And I never really wanted to be a teacher. I love interior decoration and would have loved to be in that career. But fate has brought me to this place. Yes. Actually, I got into teaching because I was once, I met my principal, an ex principal of mine, and in a place called Asansol. And there was a school, Loreto Convent, from where I also graduated. So the principal, I was in between my college, and the principal said, "Why don't you come and teach? One of the teachers is on leave." So I said, "All right, I'll help you out." And I went and taught, and this was the class 3 that I was teaching. And I was there for about 6 months. And I actually enjoyed it. Children are so wonderful. Yes. A teacher in a class is always put on a pedestal. They listen to you. And it was joyful being with these children. So the principal said, "I think you like being a teacher. Why don't you go ahead and do your B.Ed and start a career over there?" So that's how I got into teaching actually 45 years ago. Yes, long time ago.
So, to all my dear viewers, you heard ma'am saying that, it's been imbibed in her that one needs to be tough. And you'd be surprised to know that by tough, she is actually tough. She is the one who have an Himalayan peak christened in her name, in the honor of her name. So that peak is around some 5628. She's a mountaineer, and there is a lot in her journey. She has very humbly just said one part of her journey, but there is another part which she didn't unveil. So that is my duty on now to tell you all about it. And she has the passion for mountaineering. She loves it so much that she has the wall climbing in her school, and she's teaching her children out there. So, ma'am, we would like you to talk a little about the wall climbing and how these mountaineering expeditions help the children also.
Yes. So my father went on in for mountaineering, and I was about 19 at that time. And we were in a place called Darjeeling, and the Himalayan Mountaineering Institute is there. So he said, "Why don't you've just finished school, why don't you go ahead and try the course, the mountaineering basic course?" So that's how I got into mountaineering basic course. Again, it was a joyful experience of learning something other than, just doing normal things, ordinary things. So when I started the school, we had PE teachers who were very proficient in mountaineering. In fact, one of my PE teachers, Anand Mali, has climbed Everest twice. So when he was here, I said, I love mountaineering. You are a mountaineer. Let's put something into place for our children. So he said, let's start with wall climbing. It is over here. We don't have to go to the mountains. And gradually, as they become more skillful, let us take them for mountaineering. So we have our children of ninth and 10th actually have done 3 mountain expeditions already in the Himalayas and even in Russia. So that's how the wall climbing started in Vidya Valley. And now we are hoping to encourage children not only for national, Asian, but hoping against hope that one of them go to the Olympics because it is now an Olympic sport. Yes.
And certainly, ma'am, with the kind of dedication and hard work you put in, we are very sure that we are going to see children in Olympics soon from Vidya Valley. So this is the kind of thing that I was talking about. That why I'm so passionate about ma'am, because she is the one who puts her heart and soul in whatever she does. So let us understand more from her. Moving ahead to my next question to you. So the school that you started, Vidya Valley, today has its own name. It has built a very big name in Pune. So tell me, ma'am, what makes Vidya Valley stand apart from other schools?
When I started Vidya Valley, actually, I started in a very humble way from a little bungalow outside my house. And I always wanted a place for children where they would be happy, where they would be without any fear of doing things, and where I, in a very small way, provide a platform for them to find their interests, yes, and then groom them to make it a talent. So that's how Vidya Valley started. And it was not only for academics. Academics, everybody has to do. I have to do exams, you have to do exams, we all have to pass exams. But surely, in a person's life, there is something more than studying for exams, right? There is music, there is dance, there is art, there is sports. And that is what makes a wholesome individual. So, in my heart, I felt that for the children, I would like to provide an opportunity, a platform for each one of them to find something joyful and which maybe they would later make as a career. So that's how Vidya Valley started. And I think Vidya Valley is different because of that. It's not only academics, but it's a whole gamut of um, subjects, topics, projects, yes, that we offer children.
Certainly, ma'am. I think that is the reason that I'm sure, in the beginning, there must be a little hurdle on your way to guide parents on why the school is more focused on other things also along with academics. Because, at that time, everyone was just talking about marks and this rat race. So, was this actually the scene with you too when you started the school?
In India, I think our focus is always academics. From class 1, when children come to meet us, they say, I want my child to be in IIT or I want him to be a doctor in medicine, right? So I want a good I want a good school where there's good academics and where there are good teachers. But hardly anybody ever comes and says, I want my child to be a good musician, a good sportsman, a good dancer, a good artist, right? So I feel there were challenges because parents had to be told that everyone is not in academics. Everyone has their own calling. Maybe I'm a teacher. It's unfair to think that my daughter or my granddaughter should be a teacher. They should find something else for themselves, right? So it was difficult, yes, convincing parents that there can be a mix of academics and co-curricular activities. So we don't call it extracurricular activities. At Vidya Valley, it is co-curricular activities. They are integrated, and I think one helps the other.
And you're very successfully, I'm sure, guided the parents on the importance of having that every child should find his own skill and talent. And finally, the school has, made its own place. And that is, as you rightly said, makes Vidya Valley unique because it has gamut of different activities. But you know, having said that, there is one more challenge in front of my eyes. When you have such so many different kind of activities, how do you, you know, hire teacher or coaches for these different activities? What are the prerequisites that you look into? Isn't that challenging getting the right people?
Yes, it is challenging because some of us as teachers don't really know our passions. Yes. And you need to groom teachers, you need to train teachers. But one thing a teacher must have if you're going to become a teacher or come into a school is a caring personality. Yes, a smiling personality, a positive personality. I think that is important. Once you have that within your character, I think it's easy to train a teacher. And over the years, children teach us. They teach us love, they teach us forgiveness, they teach us how to teach. We don't have all the answers, but when we come in front of our children, and children are wonderful. Yes, they are uninhibited. They are not self conscious like we are. So they teach us all these things. And we as teachers imbibe this and become better teachers over the years. And I
Completely agree
think,
with you, ma'am.
yes.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think
please, ma'am.
teaching is a challenging profession, but it is the most enjoyable profession. Given $1 million, as I say, if I was paid, I don't think I would change my job as a teacher.
Wow, wow. So this is a teacher from heart talking. Once a teacher, forever a teacher. And it is so rare to find such dedicated teachers today. So hats off to you, ma'am, for, you know, passing on this beautiful vision of teaching to all your teachers. And you rightly said, teachers can be trained and groomed. The pandemic was a solid example of it. How
Yes,
seamlessly our teachers switched to online education and they were doing wonderful at it.
right. Yes.
So, moving ahead to my next question to all my dear viewers, Vidya Valley offers mess and food facility also in the school. So, you know, having food in the school premise is something which is, you know, very difficult to maintain, but you have successfully done that too. So, we would like to know the secret of that. How do you maintain such stringent control over the quality of food which is being served in your school? And how do you ensure the nutritional value which is going in the kids?
Actually, when I started Vidya Valley, there was no intention to serve food. But when I started with about 30 children in a little bungalow, as I said. And parents came to me and said, Mrs. Sengupta, we want to put our children here, but can you help us by giving them something to eat? We are all working parents, yes, and sometimes we don't have the time. And you have a small group of children. Could you start with that? I said, I'll try. I had never, provided food for children as such in a school. So then two parents came forward and they said, we would like to try to be your caterers. Would you give us a chance? So these two parents stepped up to me and we started providing food. And they're still with me actually till today. Yes, we made our mistakes along the way. We started with a very elaborate menu and realized as the school grew and the numbers grew, it was not possible to do that. Then we came about saying we have to provide a balanced diet because children are in school from 8 in the morning to 4 in the evening. They are playing games, they are studying. So, we sat down and said, what could be a nutritious diet? So we consulted people and we said, all right, we won't go, what shall I say, absolute outright to get fantastic menus, but we will provide simple stuff. Food is vegetarian, right? We have two caterers, one from junior KG to the fifth standard, and one caterer parent again, 6 to the 12th standard. We have a check every day. We have a register, and two people give feedback. Two teachers give us feedback every single day on the quality of food. Is there too much salt? Is there too less salt? We would like something else, right? And over the years, we started giving eggs to the senior children, not to the juniors, because there are staunch vegetarians, and we thought the small children would not be able to decide. So we give a paneer and we give an egg. I'm giving you too many details, but the senior children loved it, and it helped nutritively too. So we provide breakfast, we provide lunch, and we have a stay back time. where children play or do music, and we give them a little snack before they leave for home, which is some poha and chickies, something to enhance their strength before they leave for home. So that's how. And we have an outside agency also coming and checking the food every month. So we have
Wow.
been careful, yes. And we have children coming and telling us, my mother doesn't cook dal as well as the school does, ma'am. Please give me the recipe. So it's been a good trend. Yes.
Well, I have certain similar kind of feedback and reviews from the students because so few of those students I know very well, and they tell me, you should eat the food in my school and see how it is cooked. You don't know how to do it. So when consumer gives you the best feedback, it is said, and when we have the students
Yes.
telling themselves that they
Yes.
enjoy the food, then we don't need any kind of checks there. So ma'am, I think you just share the perfect example of school parent partnership. When parents
Yes.
stepped in and they decided to work with you, today you have the food coming in the school, which is not
Yes.
an easy task, but you are seamlessly managing that too. So you have set up a solid example of school parent partnership there. So
Yes. Thank
moving
you.
ahead, so moving ahead in my conversation, ma'am, with the kind of activities and with the kind of the so many different music focus, also focus on sports, also focus on Indian literature, also there is so much in the school happening. So, what do you think? How are you ensuring that every child is getting equal opportunity to learn? What is the ideal teacher-student ratio, and why do you think that this ratio is also very important?
You know, I don't know about the ideal student teacher ratio. We have decided that we want music, we want dance, we want art, we want sports. We definitely want subjects to be taught to our children. And according to that, we have the teachers come in. We have two dance teachers, Kathak and Bharatanatyam. We have three art teachers. We have 10 sports teachers. Yes, we have more than 100 teachers now with us. So I think we have a variety of teachers with diverse interests that we teach. We have about 40 children in a class. So one teacher teaching them academics, but when they go out onto the sports fields, they are broken into smaller groups, yes, with the 10 sports teachers. So they get a lot of attention, each child does, yeah. And then we have different music sessions where we have guitar, we have the synthesizer, tabla, drums, dance. So again, they are broken into small groups. So where speciality teachers are needed, then we have those teachers come in to teach them. So that's how we manage in the school week, actually, to give the children a feeling of everything that they have to do, some academics and some co-curricular activities. The co-curricular activities and the academics in the junior classes are 50-50, but as they go up into the 10th, 11th, 12th, it reduces a little bit. Yes. So it maybe becomes 20, 80, or 30, 70. But still, it's there. And every year, we have 4 sports days. We have 5 annual gatherings, which we call Grandparents' Day, right? We have a musical night. So there is, I would say, every month we have a program or a function where children can come out and showcase their talent. And that helps to encourage them to pursue their interest.
Absolutely, ma'am. So I think the key that is to let every teacher do their own work. So having teachers define tasks, that is the key there. Because what happens at many schools, there is one teacher who is looking after everything. So this is where the problem arises. So as you mentioned, we have separate teachers for different activities. Sports teacher will take care of the sports, dance. So many a times one teacher is expected to teach all the stuff. So
Yeah.
I think having this focus important. So to all my dear school educators out there, this is the key. You have to have separate set of teachers, then only the quality of education will be intact. And I love the point where you mentioned that every day is a celebration. There are so many celebrations going on, and when you celebrate learning, there is nothing like that. There is so
Yes.
much for parents and the student in there. They are encouraged automatically. So I think this is a wonderful thing that you're doing, ma'am. So we heard so much about Vidya Valley and what how the school is flourishing. Now it's time to reveal some fun facts about Nalini, ma'am. And we have reached to this very favorite segment of mine of the show, which is called the rapid fire round. So, ma'am, you have to answer me in one word or a statement would do. Okay.
Okay.
Here, so we are all ready for a rapid fire round. So here comes my first question to you. If you were granted three wish from Aladdin's magic lamp, what would be your three wishes?
I think to be a teacher, to be a teacher, to be a teacher. I think that
So
would
you
be my. You can't imagine the pleasure I get coming to school. I think I live to come to school. And I now, Vidya Valley is 22 years old. And the children that have gone out from here have been with me 12 years and 14 years. And they keep coming back. And I think that is the greatest thing a teacher can wish for.
certainly. So moving ahead to my next question, the sole aim of education ought to be dash.
Making children good human beings. I think to be no knowledge is useful if you are not compassionate or you don't have ethical feelings.
Absolutely. So, ma'am, we know that you are a hardcore mountaineer, but what else do you do when you're not working?
Actually, I love reading. Yes. And I used to be a hockey player. So at times I play table tennis. My husband's good at table tennis. So in the evenings after school, we have a lovely hall where we have a number of table tennis tables. So some of the senior children come across and we play table tennis. Yes. Trekking is something that one has done, but slowly less, I would say. Yeah.
Right. So, I think these physical activities is the fitness of your is the secret of your fitness also.
I love dancing. All
Oh
right.
my God, I
So
have a multifaceted personality in front of me. There is so much to
I
know about you.
I have a daughter who loves dancing, and I have a granddaughter who's 21 years old now, and she loves dancing. So all of us get together and dance.
Wow, wow. I mean, you are a living inspiration for so many of us. At our age, we are not so energetic as you are, ma'am. If I could be like just 10% of you, today I would have been reaching somewhere else, I suppose. So,
I think everyone is energetic when you love doing things, right?
absolutely. Yeah, when you put your heart and soul inside anything,
Yes,
then,
yes.
certainly success is bound to come. So, moving ahead to my next question. A virtue you wish every child must possess.
I think kindness. Underlying everything is kindness and a desire to forgive.
Absolutely. Beautiful. So, coming up to the last question of this segment, a piece of advice for our dear parents out there.
I would say to the parents, yes, hold their hand, lead them to a certain place or till you're confident. But then let go of their hands. Nobody can grow absolutely under someone's will. Yes, trust your children. You have brought them up. So let them go and find their passion. I think that would make them happy and you happy in the long run.
Absolutely. So it was very interesting to know you in this segment. I'm sure just through our rapid fire round, our viewers have learned so much about you that what all Nalini ma'am does. So moving ahead to the last question of our show, which is called the viewer's choice question. So my viewers keep sending me a lot of questions, and this is the one which I have picked for you. They say that each educator has a certain philosophy and vision. What is desired is unequivocal passion and allegiance to the vision. Name your journey validates what you sought and achieved through sheer determination and unwavering devotion towards holistic education. So when we talk about holistic education, how do you feel to see your students succeed in life in any field of their choice?
Actually, it gives me great pleasure that all my students are not joining IIT or doing medicine or becoming engineers. We need those jobs. Don't mistake me. Yeah, but I feel that children at Vidya Valley are confident enough to go and try careers in different areas. We have a young child who's a DJ. We have people who are sitting in MIT, USA, right, doing maths and science and engineering. We have young students going into Ladakh and working there to build icebergs so water can be generated during the summer. And I'm happy with this. There are children who have gone out and become sports people. Yeah. So I'm happy that we are able to give the confidence to our children to go out and try things, find their interest, and make it their career and enjoy themselves.
I was just speaking to one of the parents of Vidya Valley, and that lady told me one thing I know for sure, that when my child passes out from school, my child will be independent and he'll be much more confident person, that I can assure you. So, I was so carried away by this thought that this is what we want education for, and this is what we need from schools, to give our children the independence and education. And I think Vidya Valley is doing very well under your leadership, and it is your passion which is making the school go beyond limit, cross all the limits whichever it is. So ma'am, do you think that you will be opening more branches of the school?
I don't know if I am competent enough to open too many branches. Yes, I am willing to go out and help people, right? Opening branches these days means getting land, putting up buildings, finding investors, which is a challenging job. But me, I can depend on myself to go out and help people from the 45 years of experience that I have. And that I am willing to give anyone who wants to come.
Wow. So, to all my school founders and the people, those who are planning to own a school, for any of your requirement, ma'am is there. She is going to consult and mentor you, and you will certainly have a school which flourishes. So, you can count on that. So, I mean, they'll be fortunate enough to have you as a leader, ma'am. So, it was wonderful, conversing
I
with you,
want to
ma'am.
say one word. I think mentor is a very, very large word. I would like to say friend who has gleaned through experience things that would I would like to share. Yes.
Wow. I think, ma'am, your this belief of being a friend, very approachable, is what is keeping your students also so so fond of you, that you are always approachable to them and they can come and interact with you. So this is the kind of atmosphere which is needed today, for especially for the generation of these. They need someone they can easily stand up to and talk to. So, Nalini ma'am, thank you so much for enlightening us with wisdom today. I really feel privileged to have heard your wise word, and I appreciate your time with us. Thank you so much. Today, I'm going with so much of learning from here, and I'm sure my viewers have a lot of takeaways. Thank you.
May I say thank you, Seema? In the beginning, I was a little anxious about the interview, but you are a wonderful interviewer and you have really made me comfortable. Thank you so much for this interaction. Yes, and God
Thank
bless
you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.